Hello, hello, hello. This is Cyborg,
And Bumblebee.
and today we got a real good one for you.
Absolute Flash issue number 2.
Oh my gosh. We got some messed up stuff. We got some characters who I didn't expect would be. We got some more questions than answers. Let's dive in.
Yeah, this is interesting to say the least.
That's putting it lightly. So we start off where we ended off in the last issue with not Barry, Wally. Almost said that. Wally running from do they have a group name or no?
I don't think so. I think it's just a bunch of I don't know, but it's Captain Cold,
1,
Golden Glider,
2,
Boomerang,
3,
and the Trickster.
4. I'm gonna call them the Evil 5.
Okay.
And you'll understand why later. But yeah, so the Evil 5 is trying to capture Wally West and bring him back to base. Captain Boomerang, who I kind of like right now because he has a upgraded arsenal in this one, and it looks amazing to me.
His boomerangs are very technological.
Yes.
And they kind of look like
light and lasers and all that, but I know that if they're nanobots, that's just even more crazy.
I mean, I was gonna say it kind of reminds me of Green Lantern, but that's probably just because they're green and they glow.
Yeah,
but it's a very technological boomerang.
Correct.
So it's interesting, and he uses the boomerangs to map out the cave that Wally's in so that they know
which exits to block off and where one person can just speed run and blitz them, which is what Golden Glider, I believe her name is.
Yes.
That's the one who ran after him.
Yeah, so they kind of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Pincer maneuver.
Yeah, they kind of funnel him to one exit.
Yeah.
And then they try to capture him, but
it almost worked. We'll say that. It did.
Not really.
No, because the funneling part worked.
Yes.
It's the ending part did not work.
The capturing part didn't work because they were not able to capture him.
No, because he just zoomed.
Captain Cold, shot his foot, but he was able to get out of that. The Trickster used his, I don't know. I'm gonna call them like force field bubbles. That's what I'm gonna call it.
You're not gonna call them Trickster balls?
No. No.
Why not?
No, absolutely not. He was Wally was able to break out of that encasement.
Yes, the balls.
And then we kind of get... So we kind of go back.
Before that, it's like he lets out a very large amount of electricity out of his body.
Yes.
And we know that it was hurting him. And then we shoot back to... Go ahead.
So after he does this, he kind of goes back, or I don't know if this is a flashback or if it's like actual events that happened, or them showing us what happened when the situation happened with Barry Allen and the lab kind of blew up when Wally, was watching or was there. And we see that, Barry is like, come, grab my hand. I got you. Hold on.
He didn't have him.
But, it didn't work. He kind of, Wally slipped into I'm going to say it's the Speed Force or whatever situation this is.
Until we know more, it's the Speed Force.
And then we see Barry back at the lab, and Wally's dad is confronting Barry, saying that, I told you to leave my boy alone. Why'd you have to do it? And then we see Wally.
Or at least a figure of Wally, a outline figure of Wally, who is wrapped up in electricity.
Yeah, he He looks like he has become just
the Speed
energy
Force himself. I'm calling it the Speed Force itself.
Yeah.
The way he looking is, it looks good, but he looks dangerous.
Mm-hmm. And he's there with Barry and his dad, but then he kind of he's going back and forth kind of, but then he kind of comes back and he's back in the desert, and that's when they try to capture him in the like the force field bubble, but then he gets out and he starts
trickster balls.
Yes, and he starts to run, and he breaks out of that, and he starts running, and Golden Glider is coming after him.
And she got really cocky at this point. She's like, there is not a person on Earth who can outrun me. And then falls.
She was like this close to Wally, and she about to grab him, and he looked back, he said, "Oh," and he took off.
You got the blast.
And he's gone.
Oh, we were racing? Hold my beer. Let me put my Crocs into sports mode and dust you.
And as he's running, he's he's going back and forth. He's in the lab with his dad and Barry. He's in the desert, running away from these people. And he's also simultaneously back when he was 3, going to
the past, the present, and the future all at once.
Yeah, going back, yeah, pretty much. He's going back and forth, or at least and then he's like, I see two tomorrows, one where he's a hero, and one where he's a monster. So I don't know if this is, foreshadowing or what is to be him becoming a hero or him becoming a monster.
It could be that, or it could be split dimensions.
That's also another thing. I was wondering, because technically, or from what I remember, in the first issue, after the whole explosion in the lab, we saw Barry's, or like the Flash suit, Barry's suit with a skeleton in it. So I was under the impression that Barry Allen died during that situation. But in this issue, we're seeing that he's alive and well, and him and Wally's dad were arguing back and forth in the lab, trying to figure out what was going on with Wally.
Correct.
So I don't know.
I'm thinking it's, like I said, another dimension, or another Earth, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And
also possible,
something happened to their Wally, and it's just mixing all into one. It could happen, but like all the Wallys coming to one, and it's like it's gonna jump back and forth to where he's either gonna be a hero or a monster, and the worlds will collide. I don't know if it's going to happen like that, but that is a Hail Mary thought process that I had.
Mm-hmm. So I'm not sure. It could be, maybe he was imagining, or maybe it's again, 2 different worlds.
Right.
We don't know. Different dimensions, different possibilities. The Flash can time travel.
Yeah, he can. He shouldn't, but he can.
There's also, the multiverse. He could be accidentally going to another Earth.
He can. He shouldn't, but he can.
After that, he comes back, and he's back in the desert. He stops running for a second, or he trips and falls. And the team that's after him is like,
the
okay.
Evil 5.
The team that's after him is like,
Evil 5
are after him. And they're like, okay, bring him out.
Here's the last team member.
And they said, okay, bring out Grodd. And they open up the vehicle that they're in, and out walks
Gorilla
Grodd, or this the absolute universe version of Gorilla Grodd.
Now, we're not going to tell you what he looks like. You got to read it for yourself.
Or, well, I'm going to say the absolute version of Grodd. Not Gorilla Grodd. Grodd.
You're definitely going to be just as surprised as we were. It's funny.
I mean, it kind of makes sense, because we did see those monkeys in the lab in the first issue, but that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah.
And then that's how the issue ends.
So
lots of things happened.
Yeah. It was a pretty good issue. Like, this one, I liked it. I'm going to give it a 9.
This was pretty interesting. Again, I have some questions, and I'm definitely, I need to know. I mean, I'm sure that they're going to answer the questions in the next issue or later issues. But right. I'm interested to see which one of our thought processes is correct, trying to figure out this past, present, future.
If it's mine and that Hail Mary thought process, I'm going to be both happy and like, God dang it, I was right again. I don't like being right about certain stuff.
But this is interesting. I'll say that.
Yeah. What I want you guys to do, comment what you think is going to happen. I would love to read what you guys have to say about this issue. It was a good issue. Take a look at it. I can guarantee you're going to like it as much as we did.
And definitely pick up the first, get issue number 1 and issue number 2. It's going to be easy to get into it, to jump in. We're not too far into the series yet.
And if you can't get to your local comic book store, you can also check out the app.
The DC Infinite app.
And you can follow along with us and conversate with us back and forth. All right, guys. Before I let you go, check out KV Gear LLC. They got some cool and awesome, amazing gear there. I think you'll also like that. They might be coming out with some couples apparel as well. We don't know yet. But yeah, KV Gear LLC. It'll be in the link in bio. Take care, guys. Later.